What's up, everybody? I am back. Just wrapped up Naruto season 4, which I didn't even realize how, like, God, half of it was, kind of lame. In the most filler of the filler I ever seen. It's, before I get into it, please like the video and leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think of season 4 of Naruto. Wrapping up this series where I will proceed to get into the Shippuden seasons. But yeah, man, very lackluster final season where the bulk of it, there's half of it are like fillers, one-off stuff, and then the other chunk is just like little arcs where Naruto is getting roped into other groups of getting into other missions. Now, I'm primarily going to be focusing on like the meat and potatoes of it, at least that's put into the overall narrative. Like, we get to learn a little bit of Anko and how she was the premise, like the protege to Orochimaru before his downfall. All the stuff that she knows, and because she was closely tied to this guy, things that his mannerisms she ended up picking up from him, like licking the tongue off the blade and stuff. It's like, as much as she resents Orochimaru, she ends up being like a surrogate daughter to him. And once again, as much as I really like Anko, man, the show ended up treating her like trash once Boruto series rolls around, and she turned to, I still F, but she gave her a gut and stuff. Yeah, she likes sweets and everything like that, so I guess it tracks. But what, she kind of slacked off with her training as she got older. It's like, it's kind of like a shame. It's like, and then Tenten gets like the raw end of the deal on a lot of stuff. Like, these two shinobi should not be treated like this. Man, that's garbage. That's not fit those characters. Man. But anyway, we get to learn a little bit of something while Anko is leading a squad with Naruto, Shino, and Ino, where they find this girl's kind of like, half sea monster experiment from Orochimaru, who, for the longest time experimented on this girl, and now she's kind of out and about and generated this legacy of being some kind of sea monster that is responsible for disappearing people, but it turns out to be some flunkies that used to work with Orochimaru back in the day that are running experiments on these people who went missing, thought to be taken by this monster, which, they blamed the girl to being. But they didn't know the full story. But they end up dealing with that, and it's fun to see Gamabuta again, and the fact that he's irritated, the fact that Naruto summoned him to fight this giant water creature that is made up from the souls of the people that these guys took. And Gamabuta is kind of irritated because toads don't belong in salt water. It makes their skin, I guess, irritated and itchy, and scaly skin can get irritated and itchy. But Gamabuta stopped this thing. But like I said, we filled with a lot of fillers. There's some stuff with Rock Lee. I'm gonna say Guy specifically, where some group of people blame a fight their father lost against Guy, and they misinterpreted his final words, thinking they want them to take out Guy, but it turns out to be like, no, you'll learn something by challenging Guy because he fought honorably. But it's like a thing where they have chocolate filled dummies to attack Naruto, Neji, Tenten, and Lee. And Lee jumped into a building that they keep in, Guy inside trapped, and utilizing these workout dummies to copy their taijutsu, and essentially they end up fighting each other. But they end up going to the fourth inner gates to overpower the dummies because they can't take the strain of utilizing certain moves. They end up breaking out and putting a stop to all this stuff. It's fine. Most of these fillers are fine. It kind of helps you learn more with these characters, give them some time to shine. There's a moment where you gotta get Shino to make this. Shino and Naruto trying to get this royal prince or princess to get them to laugh because they lost their, joy or something like that. It's like I said, it's a nothing burger in a lot of cases. I'm not even sure if this even was in the manga. It's just sometimes animes need to fill in time before they, dub some stuff for the English viewers. Because Yu-Gi-Oh was like that, like the going to the virtual world where Kaiba deals with, Noah and the Big Five. That has never been part of the manga. But they need to fill in some time before, because, they was going through this stuff pretty quickly, and they need some more time before they get to the final tower and dealing with Merrick once and for all. They need to fill in some time. So they created that little virtual world arc. I imagine they did the same thing here with Naruto, where it's like, okay, we're not ready with the Shippuden stuff yet for the English translation, so we need to fill in some time. Hence, I imagine season 4, which at best half of that stuff was intentional, the other half we need to fill in some time. But like the more important arc was at the tail end, where Gaara and his siblings are training some new recruits, pretty much utilizing the same tools the Leaf Village used in order to prepare their Genin. They are starting to train the Sand Shinobi, and Gaara is this young girl, forgot her name, starts with an M, sees Gaara as like, she will eventually become like Gaara's personal bodyguard in like during the season of Boruto. And I think, not even just with Boruto, but like later on in Shippuden, halfway through, I think you'll see her grow into like a fine shinobi, and so good that she eventually becomes Gaara's personal bodyguard. So this is like her first introduction. But she goes through like some personal tragedy and an arc because her parents got killed by weapons. This whole thing with weapons. There are these crew of the shinobi that come from this land where are filled with people who are well-known weapons makers. Matter of fact, they're so skilled at creating weapons that every shinobi of the allied nations go to them to make their mostly the weapons that they're that you see utilized, like kunais and swords and etc. Every once in a while there's certain distinct things that are uniquely tied to those particular nations. But by and large, they end up going to this particular village for their weapons. But they see Gara as like the ultimate weapon, and they want to kidnap him, utilize his Shikaku spirit to revive their leader. They end up kidnapping Gara's student, and word gets out to the Leaf Village, and Tsunade tasked Shikamaru to assemble a team again to help to help Gara and his siblings, because this is like them. This is like a flip effect of what happened in the Sasuke retrieval arc. They helped them in terms of trying to rescue Sasuke. They went out of the way for us. This is our chance to pay them back. So this is like a flip effect of that. Not as cool by comparison, but still an alright arc-ish, where everybody except Tenten this time got involved. Well, Tenten wasn't even involved in the previous one, but at least Shino managed to get involved into this one, where him, Neji, and Hinata, and Sakura, who also wasn't involved in the previous one, was already headed out doing the scouting missions, while Shikamaru gathered everybody else up, aside from Tenten, to organize, go in Paris in order to go after particular people. And it's very poetic because Shikamaru goes after Tamari to help her, along with Ino. Rock Lee and Naruto obviously the ones go after to help Gara because he helped them. I forgot who was with Choji. Choji and Kiba go help Kankuro because Kankuro helped Kiba dealing with that Sakon Ukon. And hold on, crap. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, that's pretty much it. All the while, Sakura is helping heal the injured. Feeling like she's, useless, similar how Sakura felt useless while everybody else is doing their thing, Naruto's, Sasuke and Rock Lee doing the Forest of Death arc. Here we see Ino feeling the exact same way, where everybody else, even though she has the mind transfer jutsu, it requires too much setup, and when in a head-on fight, she can't always rely on others to kind of hold people in position in order for the transfer to come to fruition. She needs to be able to assist in other myriad of ways outside of that. Hence, in the end, she ends up learning under Tsunade along with Sakura, who's already ahead of the game when it comes to medical ninjutsu. Thanks to Shikamaru tricking that woman who's utilizing these blades to manipulate Tamari's wind, Tamari pretend to miss to strike at the pouring waterfall to cause an arc, because the water is thick enough to cause a shadow, which allows Shikamaru to extend his shadow possession jutsu reach to paralyze her, to allow Tamari to utilize her ultimate wind style technique to kill that girl, while Kiba gets Akamaru to get all the pieces of uh the well not the pieces. He had like a piece of one of the black ant puppet in his mouth, but he tricks the guy with the snake sword. Kind of reminds me of Ivy Valentine from Soul Calibur in a way. Uh, he disguised Akamaru to be one of like the swap places with the one of the puppets, which confuses the kid, thinking like it's the dog, but it's not. And now the black ant, it captures the guy this time, and so it allows Conqueror to do his Iron Maiden technique to finish that guy off. Now, Gara, who's dealing with the guy with like a armor-plated chest piece that absorbs chakra, Naruto and Rock Lee go in and deals with that guy, but Gara, with this final, like a good chunk of his, utilizing a good chunk of his sand armor on the skin to make a almost steel-like spike, tosses it and impales the guy in the chest, which I'm shocked it got past the actual armor that's there, but he got him. He ends up going after the main guy, who summons all the weapons and armor from his other teammates, traps Gara into this cage that absorbing a lot of chakra to force Chicago to come out, and he bonds his spirit, the bad guy bonds his spirit with the corpse of his leader, reviving him. But Gara found the will to overpower Shikaku's will to regain control and fight on his own terms. He ultimately ends up creating this massive sand pike, impales the guy, and buries him in the sand tsunami and causes like a giant sand barrel to finally kill the guy. So everybody gets revived back, or at least sought medical attention back at the Hidden Leaf Village. And of course, Jiraiya shows back up, tells Naruto that the Akatsuki is going to be making certain moves, but they won't have plans in place for another 2 years. This gives enough time to actually properly train you, because that's where he was off. He's doing some reconnaissance. So he is taking Naruto, out of the village to go train off somewhere else. And everybody else is pretty much sad, but they realize they need to start training as hard as Naruto will be, because he's going to be trained by a legendary Sannin, similar to how Sakura will be trained underneath Tsunade, as well as Sasuke is being trained under a different Sannin in his own right. Everybody's going to be doing this time skip, going to be getting better and better. So it's a nice little bookend to this long, because from when we first meet Naruto to how it ends, it's a nice arc with a lot of people, aside from a few of those like Tenten and Anko. They really don't get any love at all, aside from maybe a couple of things, but even though it's not much of a growth, I don't see, like Tenten especially, not seeing her like utilizing kind of new weapons, because her skills is like, utilizing scrolls to create all these different types, summon all these different types of weapons and what have you. Like, she needed like some kind of, just like a good time to see like that, like Kiba with his wolf fang over fang summon, or like that giant expansion jutsu of Choji. I need something with Tenten seeing like, okay, did she increase her skill at all? Like, Guy didn't give her any kind of love or attention to, like, increase her skills as a shinobi in her own right? Like, what's up with that? Uh, anyway, but that's pretty much all that happens that meant anything to me as I was watching the final season. But it's one hell of a ride. Uh, I will proceed eventually to get through Shippuden. But I feel inclined to go back to Duel Masters because I did season 1 and I need to finish up the final 2 seasons and review those really quick because it's been on my mind for a while. Halfway through the last season of Naruto, I've been thinking about it, so I want to, get through that because Duel Master was fun, and it's like kind of a shame that because they continue on with it for mostly in Japan and it's still popular there, but it kind of ran out of steam everywhere else in other countries. But in any case, I will see you guys later on. We'll be playing a little bit of Marvel Rivals a bit, but yeah, I've been streaming a lot this afternoon, so I'm gonna be very busy this weekend. I'm gonna stream a little bit Friday, but no, I'll still be streaming Saturday, but it's gonna be probably later in the afternoon. But yeah, I'll stream a little bit here and there. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Otherwise, see ya.